Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the program. And joining us this week for week 5 of the College Football Challenge, Tater.
Yeah.
Football. What's your interpretation of college rule for a forward pass?
What do you mean? Forward pass for college football?
I'm talking about the Kentucky game.
Ole Miss with Kentucky?
At the end there with the quarterback, they called it a trip and a fumble and a...
Yeah, I would agree that was a fumble. However, I think it's always been finicky when it's coming out of the quarterback's hands. I think you gotta really look at it, and I think replay has changed that.
I don't think if they looked at it, the rules changed or the language on the NCAA website. They don't read it.
I don't think his hand was coming forward. I don't think any of that was happening.
That's the rule. Right? If he's in this motion, then it's considered a forward pass.
When Team A player, quarterback would in this instance, is holding the ball to pass in a forward towards the neutral zone, any intentional forward movement of his hand or arm with the ball firmly in his control starts the forward pass.
At what point? But what I'm saying is what point does that's very vague is the problem because
he was throwing the ball because his shoulder was snapping forward. We're getting a visual.
Some people are down here.
Because I think he lost it like right here.
Yeah, he's back here. At what point? I mean, is all this forward here?
No, I wouldn't say so. I would say from your shoulder forward. You know what I mean? You had to be in the motion of a forward pass in my mind, not just bringing it up. You had to be either a shuffle pass or...
Because here's the deal. Here's what a lot of quarterbacks do.
And it says...
They're here. They come back. Got the ball down here. Ready to pass. Up here.
Yeah.
Team B player, which would be defense, contacts the passer or ball after movement begins. Ball leaves the player's hand, and it should be ruled as an incomplete pass.
But we've seen where a quarterback has been up here like
Brady that
Lyle
time.
said, you're up here. And when he goes back to pass, a defensive player knocks it out of his hands. It's not a forward pass, it's a fumble.
Well, yeah, I think there's an issue with the way the rule is written, not necessarily the way the rule is interpreted. I think people are interpreting it the correct way. I think the rule itself needs to be rewritten.
Well, I thought they changed it, or I might be getting NFL intertwined here, that you can't hit the passer's arm like that during the throwing motion without it being roughing the passer.
I thought that was fair game. I thought his entire body was fair game. You just couldn't spear him.
I think they need to come together with college and NFL rules in this instance and just make it one thing. I heard some announcers talking about that over the weekend. They need to just... Because the rules aren't the same.
It's not the same? It's different for college and NFL?
Yeah.
For forward pass?
Some of this stuff, yeah.
Yeah, based on what roughing the passer is and what may or may not be a fumble.
Oh. Okay.
Because
it's the same thing because in college football you can't advance an onside kick if you recover, where in the NFL you can. There's a lot of goofy rules that need to just make them the same.
Right.
So onside kick, if it's kicked in college, as soon as you touch it, the ball's downed if you're the offense. And in NFL, if you can pick it up and fucking haul ass.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. That's the same with like being down in college. If you hit the ground, you're down. Doesn't matter if somebody touches you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here's dude. This is oh my god. This is why football rules drive me nuts, right? Why is it that the clock play is not intentional grounding.
You what?
Oh, yeah. When they throw it, when they spike the ball.
Yeah, when they spike the ball, why is that not intentional grounding? You're not throwing it in the vicinity of a wide receiver, and you're not outside the tackle box.
Oh, that's a good
That's
point.
That's a very good point. I don't know why. I guess because it's an intentional play. They know that's what you're doing. You're not trying to throw it to anybody right off the rip. It's not like you were looking around and then went, oh, fuck it, and then spiked it. It was boom, spiked it.
Also, why can the placeholder on a field goal, why can the placeholder get up from a knee in college football?
It's written in the rules.
Well, yeah. Well, technically, he's down, though. As soon as he catches the ball, he's down.
Yeah.
But the placeholder is the only exception to that rule. I saw that today. It was funny you bring that up. I was reading that.
That's crazy. Why is that the exception?
Yeah.
Because he has to be in that position as the placeholder.
I get it. But I'm just saying, like, come on.
It's like we were talking earlier.
Me and Stetson Bidnick going to have a problem after last night.
Like we were talking earlier before we went live. It was like the lack of targeting calls in the booth, not in like the Kentucky game was one. What was it? The Mizzou game. That dude dropped his helmet, crown head first, right in the ears hole.
Was it the Mizzou game or the Kentucky game that the quarterback, he got hit and then he got hit again and he got spun around?
There was a Blanton one in the Kentucky game, and I want to say it was another one in the Georgia game that Missouri did. I may have the second one, but Kentucky had one late. It was definite helmet to helmet. Yeah, that should have been stopped and by the booth.
I remember that one.
And because announcers were saying it in several of the games, and they at the booth actually called one in on a different game separate from these two, and they injected that guy. I mean, if you're going to have the rule to protect the damn college kids, at least enforce it.
Well, they had they have the rules analysts that they have on like standby, I guess.
Yeah.
For the game. Mm-hmm. And he came over, and I want to say it was the Kentucky Ole Miss game. It might have been a different one, but I think it was that one. And he was like, yeah, I would have called that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an old NFL referee. He's pretty sharp on his rules.
Yeah, Matt, I think his name's Matt Austin. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he's sharp, dude.
I don't remember exactly which one it was in the Georgia game. There were oh boy, there were several calls.
That was a rough game.
Yeah, it was rough, but at the same time, I think it went both ways. I think it worked against Missouri for the most part, and it worked against Georgia too. But there were 3 missed calls on that first when they were down. What was it, 19-12, or maybe 22-12, and they scored that touchdown in the third quarter. Georgia did.
Yeah,
there were 3 missed calls in the red zone on that drive, 2 holding, and on the touchdown play there was a false start that they missed.
I was really surprised Georgia was getting blown off the line in the first 3 quarters. I was surprised by that.
I saw no football games.
I wasn't. What I was surprised by was the lack of refereeing. I thought, if you're going to let them play, then let them play. If you're not going to let them play, then let them. That's the problem with it. Is sometimes they let them play for a half, and then
they crack it down.
Yeah, and it don't make no sense.
Yeah, and it can really influence the outcome of a game. Yeah, I see your point.
Yeah, it did.
You wanted Georgia to lose?
I was mad at Missouri too, because they had opportunities and they did not take advantage of it. And they may not have been equipped to. Georgia, don't get me wrong, Georgia's a good team, man. They're going to be a good team from here until now, till the end of eternity. As long as Kirby Smart is there, they are going to have a well-coached, very talented, very well-sound football team. There's no doubt about it. And I give him that. He's a great coach.
Oh, the other one was the Texas A&M game. They didn't call targeting.
That's the one. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, He dropped his helmet and nailed dude, and they nothing.
He got hit like the quarterback. I want to say it was the quarterback or the runner. He was coming this way, and he gets hit this way. So he gets hit like this, and then another guy comes over the top of him and hits him in the head. So he was already spinning, and then somebody else hit him. And yeah, I see what you're talking about. That one definitely should have been a targeting call because he was at that point he's defenseless.
College rules. What's roughing the passer? Because
I don't know. I don't.
In the one
anymore.
game, the quarterback got taken down. It was basically a clothesline.
I think I know what game you're talking about.
I mean,
like a full-on Dick Butkus.
Oh yeah, no, the guy was a fucking defensive end, fucking clothesline, dude, and literally shoulder slammed him in the ground with a no call. How's that not roughing the passer? I mean, you're not.
I don't know, man.
I mean,
did he still have the ball?
I don't even remember. Poor fella. I felt sorry for him.
I think he was half-assed, still getting blocked by the right tackle. I don't know. I don't know what roughing the passer is anymore because if they're throwing the ball and you hit them in the legs, it's roughing. Fuck if I know, man.
They've blurred the lines so bad. Nobody really knows. I mean, the kids are half. I know the defense is pretty much just praying they don't get called every time they hit somebody at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
you see what happened to Tua? I mean, he got slung down and concussed because of the way the rules are.
Yeah.
You think about it, because the guy grabbed him the only way he can grab him without getting a foul, which was around the waist, and he just slung him.
And they just fired that doctor for you're talking about Miami, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they let him go back or something. I don't know, but whatever call that doctor made, they fired him because he was wrong.
Well, did you see the play from the week before?
No.
So he gets sacked, or he did. I don't think he got sacked, but he got hit, thrown on the ground. He, kind of wobbles up, and then he takes 2 or 3 steps and falls on the ground.
Oh, no shit. So it was obvious. He was fucked up.
He was fucked up then.
Okay.
And he shouldn't have been playing the next week.
Maybe that's why they fired the doctor, because they let him play. They said they let him play when he was clearly concussed.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the previous week. And then they let him play, and then he got jacked up even worse the following week.
Well, you saw that damn...
Tua? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Tua Tagovailoa.
In the Georgia game when Washington, I believe that's his name, the tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Have you paid attention to him, Smitty?
No.
6'7", 270.
You see that DB bounce 5 yards off of him?
That's what I'm talking about. That looked like a grown man and a boy had a collision down there.
This guy hit him at full speed, Smitty. I'm telling you.
On a hurdle.
It was like watching him bounce off of like it was rubber, man. I mean, he just boing.
Like he went to hurdle. Yeah, you got to find that replay. He's like he went to hurdle. This dude hurdled this kid and clipped him with his knee on the way over, and that boy looked like a bowling pin.
Oh, it was rough. It was pretty bad. But, I mean, even the announcer was like, damn, he knocked the safety back 5 yards. And the safety delivered the hit.
Ouch.
But, yeah,
that's a grown-ass man.
End, yeah. 6'7" and a half.
270.
270?
They're calling 270. He looks 325.
Yeah, he looks like he's about 300.
Well, the linemen these days, they probably average 6'5".
Oh, Jesus, some boys are ridiculous.
Well, your average right and left tackle are 6'5" and above.
Are you shitting me? That's the average?
Average.
Are you sure?
Guards are typically shorter. Centers are typically a little bit shorter than that.
Yeah, they're like a fire plug.
Yeah.
Built
like a brick shit.
Pops played center.
We have on Florida's football team, one of our tackles is 6'7" and a half, 375. And I can't remember how big the other one. He might be like 6'6".
I think what surprises me the most about those numbers is the speed at which those guys can fucking run. Because most of them boys are still running under a 5-second 40. at 375. How the fuck are you?
Someone said, was it Washington? They said
fast?
runs a 4.5 or a 4.6 at that size.
I'd say 4.6. Yeah. Something like that.
But still, a sub 5 second 40.
That's a load.
At that size. Imagine 375 pounds coming at you that goddamn fast. That's a lot of weight. That's a car accident about to hit you.
Montez, what was his name? Montez Sweat a couple years ago. I think he set the record. He was, I want to say he's over 6 foot, over 300 pounds, ran a sub 4.4. That boy was
sub 4.
Moving. Yeah, sub 4.4. 4.4 has like always been the mark for speed, right? You can run a 4.4, you're fast as fuck.
Yeah, if you run a 4.4 you're hauling ass
with a load.
Yeah,
that's impressive. It looked like Alabama took the number 1 slot this week.
Well, it rightfully fucking so with Georgia's performance against Mizzou. I don't know if it's because they just thought they were going to have an easy time with it because Mizzou's not ranked, but what happened when I logged in to go look at scores, UGA was losing 16-3. I was like, holy shit. And it was like the end of the second quarter. I was like, oh fuck.
I think this was the first time since 2019, someone said, that we haven't scored a touchdown in the first half of a football game.
What the hell happened? I didn't watch the game, so
they were getting knocked off the ball. It's like they didn't show up to play. I don't know. Kind of reminded me of the Falcons.
Mizzou showed up with a good game plan. They put pressure on Stetson Bennett early. They were able to get in there and they were able to pressure him. They were able to force him into some bad throws. They were able to make him fumble the ball on one occasion.
So the offensive line wasn't doing their job.
Yeah.
They were getting pushed off the ball, but they had some heavy. They normally had 7 to 9 guys in the box.
Yeah, they were banking on Georgia to run the ball. They were basically daring Stetson to throw it, which is odd because he's been throwing the ball really well. So I don't know if Georgia had some wide receivers out or what, but they were daring him to throw the ball in the first half.
So they were just coming. Yeah. They were coming hard.
Yeah, they were giving him no time. So he was a little high quite a bit in the first half.
That means he had receivers then. If they were coming that hard, then he had people to throw to.
Yeah, he did. He had open wide receivers. He just couldn't get to him in the first half. In the second half, however, Georgia wised up and ran the ball right at what they were bringing, and it worked. And they were able to just move right down the field, score touchdowns.
So Kirby saw what they were doing and adjusted.
Yeah, they went to a quick snap. I mean, they come out of huddle, line up, and literally snap the ball, and it slowed down the defense from getting into position.
Yeah, they were doing what the announcers call a sugar huddle, which is just a huddle on top of the ball. You break the huddle and you snap it.
Gotcha.
Now, I tell you another thing that I think it was the Kentucky game that kind of irritated me, was the back judge standing over the center to prevent him from snapping the ball because a defensive player is trying to get off the field. They should not have to take a timeout because they're not allowed to snap the ball.
Well, if the offense in college football, if the offense substitutes, the defense is allowed to substitute. And the offense can't snap the ball until the defense substitutes.
I mean, you should have to take a timeout in that instance.
No, no, I agree. You shouldn't, but
I mean, if the referee's holding it, then they should still be able to snap the ball without taking the timeout.
If you want to blame somebody, you blame Chip Kelly and that 2010 Oregon team because they're the ones who got the rules rewritten.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm dead serious.
You're right.
They rewrote the rules because Nick Saban cried so much, even though he didn't even have to play him.
Well,
he
really
cried about it so much that the NCAA rewrote the rule.
All right, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Go.
How come all three of us picked Baylor over Oklahoma and Baylor lost?
Over OK State? Yeah, that was probably my fault.
I don't know why I picked Baylor. I think I picked Baylor because they won last week. Because I don't know shit about Oklahoma State, but they were ranked 9th. Baylor's ranked 16th, but all three of us picked Baylor.
Yeah,
I was thinking their offense, because their offense had just like finally started working.
Mm-hmm.
I figured shit, they got it because they got a good defense.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma walked them.
Oklahoma jumped out to a huge lead. And Baylor couldn't come back.
And TCU whooped the hell out of Oklahoma.
I won't pick Oklahoma the rest of the year. I don't care if they're playing Newark State. Yeah, they burned me 2 weeks in a row, man.
Who was that? I missed it.
Oklahoma
and TCU. TCU 55-24.
The UCF game was postponed. I don't know to when.
Yeah.
Well, that's because the hurricane, so they couldn't play. But you beat us by 2 games. You got 7.
Yeah, the only reason I beat you guys is because both of you picked off on one set of games, and then I picked Mississippi State. Mississippi State was the one, pretty much.
Yeah.
Got you.
I don't know why I didn't pick Mississippi State either. Heather's sister went to Mississippi State.
I was telling you guys, I'm like, Texas A&M is garbage. Fucking pick Mississippi State. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't pick Mississippi State. Oh, obviously I'm not going to go against Alabama. But I tell you what, this college pick'em thing is pick some weird ass games. I mean, I don't.
Whoever sets this up
that's the idea.
Does a good job.
Yeah.
Because half of these on the over-under is less than 5 points on a lot of these games. I mean, you can just look at the over-under and go who's playing at home, and that's your best bet almost.
I mean, I tell you what, I really wasn't sure about the Washington State game. I wasn't sure about Clemson, even though they've been playing good.
Yeah.
Right.
And they didn't look good early. I mean, it was a tight game until the second half.
I almost picked TCU just because I love the fact that they're the Horned Frogs. Yep. And it reminds me of Johnny B. Good, the movie, when he went to go visit their college and he got laid on the 50-yard line. I should have picked the Horned Frogs.
Went with them too, but they really hadn't had a good quality win to gauge it by.
Sometimes what I'll do when it's like these games that I don't know, I'll go see who the coach is.
How the hell do you see? I don't even know. I don't know coaches. How the fuck do you even know any of that shit?
Just following college football way too much. So
yeah,
like
you have a pretty big advantage. Yeah, you got a pretty big advantage.
So with TCU, Oklahoma, and I picked against him, thinking Oklahoma, whatever. I didn't realize how good TCU was, but TCU has Sonny Dykes. He's a really good coach. Anyways, I should have fucking picked him.
In hindsight, I should have done a lot different too.
Yeah, hindsight's always 20/20, man.
But you killed it.
Not really.
Well, you got 7 out of 9 because we didn't get the 10th game.
Yeah, if the UCF game plays, I'm probably 8-2.
Yeah, see, this is why I hesitate with TCU. They played Colorado, won 38-13. Arlington 59-17. So that's not really that's a wash. Then SMU, they won 42-34. So that kind of leads me to think with the SMU, what's wrong with your defense? Then Oklahoma only put 24 up against them. So, they're playing the UCF game on Wednesday.
So who else we got? So we went over. I lost the Iowa State Kansas game. The Jayhawks, they won last week. I guess I should have picked them. I don't know why I didn't.
They're gonna win next week too, boy.
You think so?
Oh, that's gonna be a good game, I think.
All right, let me give you a little background on Kansas State or Kansas. I didn't realize this.
They're playing TCU next week.
Yeah, they could lose that game. It's possible.
Let me hear it.
So Kansas has. Remember how I said I look up coaches?
Yeah,
a guy named Lance Leopold. Lance Leopold came from D3. In his years as a D3 coach, he coached 8 years. I don't know what school. 8 years at D3 level, won 6 national championships.
Okay.
So that tells you he knows what the fuck he's doing.
He knew what he was doing in D3 anyway.
Yeah, and he got an opportunity, and so he's making the most of it at Kansas. He ain't going to be there long. It ain't going to be long for a major college football program picks him up. Might be Auburn.
Really? You think they're going to drop whoever they got?
Brian Harsin? If they didn't fire him in the end zone last night, they're going to fire him real soon. But yeah. Lance Leopold. Remember that name.
Lance Leopold. And who did he coach in D3?
I don't know. I don't remember exactly what school it was. I had to look that part up. But he 8 years, 6 national championships.
So you're predicting he's going to be in a power conference in 2 years?
Well, he's in a power conference now. I'm saying he's going to be at a major college football program.
Copy that. You heard it right here from the Tater.
Yeah. I don't doubt it. Hey, guys like that don't stay at schools like that very long. And it's just the nature of the beast. You can't deny the money.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And that's in every sport.
Yeah, he may be getting $1 or $2 million at Kansas, but if Auburn comes calling, he's going to get 8 to 9, possibly $10 million a year.
Yeah,
think so.
Yeah, with a buyout that is ungodly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How long is this contract where he's at now?
It's probably most contracts like that starting out are, I believe it's 4 years. It's not fully guaranteed, and your buyout is typically 1 year salary.
Yeah, because who were we just talking about got bought? They bought his contract out at 11 million, 11.47 million.
Was it Mullen?
Dan Mullen.
Yeah, out of Florida. Yeah.
12 million.
Yeah. I got fired.
They didn't even argue about it. They're like, here, we're going to give it to you.
Yeah. That was, you were talking about that, weren't you? Like, they were telling him, hey, which door do you want me to leave out of and when you want me to go?
That was Orgeron, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Ed Orgeron at LSU 2 years ago. Yeah. You know what's the wildest contract out there to date?
Yeah.
Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M.
Why?
If they fired him today, they'd have to pay him $90 million.
He signed a guaranteed contract?
Yeah, his contract is 100% guaranteed.
Holy shit. A 10-year deal?
And they gave him an extension. And he has the same record as the guy they fired before they hired him.
Please, if anybody has any questions or comments, hit us up at primecohesion@gmail.com or head to our Facebook page at Prime Cohesion on Facebook and leave some comments. We'd appreciate it.